Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about advice to medical coding students. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. I've been a medical coder for over 10 years. I created my channel with the hope of sharing all the things that I know with all of you, so that way you can learn from my experience. I talk about medical coding and I talk about all the things that go along with it. So if you have a chance, I hope you hit that subscribe button. I hope you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out anytime I post anything new. And I hope that you'll hit the like button and share this at the end if this video helps you. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so you are a medical coding student. Now what? What can you expect from learning medical coding? Okay, when you are brand new and you are learning medical coding, whether you have a medical background or not, okay, some of us came in to medical coding with no medical background. I came in with zero medical background. When you come in with no medical background at all, expect that you are going to be faced with things that you don't understand right away. And I know that most of us, like, the things that we feel most comfortable with are the things that we know. But we need to learn things in order to know more. So this is a really good field for learning, okay? That's one of the things that you are going to have to accept as being a medical coder from the time you start learning to be a medical coder till your career, even till your retirement. You are going to be learning. Accept it and just move forward. It's going to take practice. It's going to take time. Don't get down on yourself just because you don't understand something. A lot of people don't understand things right away, and we have to use other avenues of learning. Sometimes we're more visual learners and sometimes we're more auditory learners. It just depends on whatever your learning style is and whatever your age. Sometimes people get concerned that maybe they feel like they're too old, and I'll get emails from people that are in their 30s or 40s and some in their 50s. Am I too old? Can I do a career change right now? The thing about it is, when you are older, okay, and I say older because 30s, 40s, 50s, that's not old, okay? When you're older, you know what you want, okay? So you're in a really good position to really know that you want to do this. People that are young, yes, some are driven and they know, and some are driven but really don't know what they want. And so there's a difference there. So when you are older, it is okay to want to switch into something like this, but just know that you are going to be out there in the workforce. You have to be when you are a brand new medical coder. And sometimes people want to do this because they want to do remote coding. It's okay to want to do remote coding, but just keep in mind that your first job is going to have to be at a doctor's office or a facility like a hospital or something, because it is almost impossible to get a job remote coding when you are a brand new medical coder with no experience. My next bit of advice is, if you're doing your research now, right, now that you're in the program and you kind of want to see like what the job market is like, and you start seeing all of these job ads that say 1 to 3 years experience required, 1 to 3 years, or a 4 years experience, or 5 years experience, and you think, how am I supposed to get in and I don't have any experience? I have gotten emails from a couple of people that literally saw this and dropped out of the program, and they're like, okay, well, I can't get a job, so may as well not even try. You can't do that. Medical coding is a really weird profession in the sense that they want you to have experience before they hire you, but how are you supposed to get experience if no one will hire you? It is going to take a lot of knocking on doors. This is something that people should be told up front when they were signing up for these programs, but a lot of times they don't. And so that's the very frustrating part, because a lot of times people will get so excited about this field, they'll hear about the money, they'll hear about all the benefits as far as like working at home or doing whatever, and then come to find out, yes, but it takes all this other stuff, okay? So that's why I'm here to share all this information with you guys, and I hope that you will take it to heart, as far as like, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from anything. This is just the real facts, okay? I'm not going to sit here smiling with a dollar bill and telling you can make all this money, or telling you, yeah, you can work from home, and lie basically and say, yeah, you can work from home. You can only work from home after you've had at least 3 years of experience coding somewhere. And if you don't believe me, you can look at the job ads and see that. Now, as far as like your first time out, you can apply at temporary agencies. That's how I got my first job, okay? And it went from there because I applied everywhere like everybody else. And I was told the same thing. But you have to be stubborn when it comes to looking for a job. So if you are, just barely studying and all of a sudden you have all of this worry, don't worry about it, guys. You just have to be very steadfast and firm that you are going to get a job. And eventually you will get in. It just depends on a bunch of factors, like how your resume looks, how you're presenting yourself, what places are you applying at. And there's plenty of listings for entry level. The only thing is sometimes they're not always listed as medical coder, okay? It'll be listed as like medical office assistant. Sometimes I'll have it listed as that. Sometimes I'll have it as health information assistant. Sometimes I'll have it as medical records tech. It'll be under different names, but it'll still be entry-level medical coding credentials. I've done a video here a while back about explaining the language of entry-level jobs for medical coders. And this was literally just stuff that random ads that I found off of Indeed in just different areas, different places. I selected different states and it was showing different, entry-level positions. So they are out there. You just have to know where to find them. Okay. So moving on, the next bit of advice is stay out of the medical coding Facebook groups. Stay out of there. Whatever you do, stay out of the Facebook medical coding groups. The only reason that I say this, I strongly suggest this, is the fact that if you go to these Facebook medical coding groups, one of two things is going to happen. Either it's going to scare the bejesus out of you that you decide you don't want to do this, because trust me, I've gotten emails from people saying that very thing. Or it will give you a false idea of what actually happens and what goes on. Or you'll get somebody else's bad experience and they will try to say all these horrible things about medical coding, that it's a scam, that, they got taken for all their money and now they can't get a job. There's a bunch of reasons why some people can't get a job. A bunch of them. Okay. There's the fact that they can't pass a background check. You got to be able to pass a criminal background check. You have to be able to pass a drug screen. You have to be able to pass a tobacco screen in some facilities. Okay. If you're a smoker, there's some facilities that do not allow for tobacco use at all. And some, they'll let you smoke, but, as long as it's not at the campus. I work at a tobacco-free campus. So at my facility, they don't care what you do at home as far as like the tobacco use. But if you are at another facility that I know just down the road, nobody uses tobacco at all, whether they are at the facility or they are at home. And they do random checks. Okay, so there is a difference between that. So we're looking wherever you apply, that may be a factor. Okay, so there's a lot of factors into why people have a hard time finding jobs. So do not let this deter you. And this is why I say to keep away from all of the negative. Don't get wrapped up in the negative. Don't think about the negative. Don't put yourself in that position to be around people that are going to be negative. Okay, you want to get involved with whatever association. If you are going with the American Health Information Management Association, you need to get involved with their local chapter, okay? So that way you can start meeting people and shaking hands and getting your name out there. That is very important when you are studying medical coding, because then you can meet up with other medical coders, and sometimes you can get lucky and somebody will, be kind enough to take you under their wing. Or maybe there's some people out there that are veteran coders looking for other new coders because maybe they have some new positions in their hospital or doctor's office or whatever. You never know. But it's all about making connections. If you are with AAPC or you're going to be taking an AAPC certification, then you need to go with their local chapters and connect with those people. If you are not going with either one of the ones that I just said, AHIMA, the American Health Information Management Association, or AAPC, the American Academy of Professional Coders, if it's another association, it's not going to make you competitive as a medical coder. You have to have a credential through one of those associations, okay? It's very important. And I've gotten emails from people that they say, well, I got this certificate through the National something or another health. I can never remember the name. I can never remember the name of it. But guys, I've looked, okay? I really have, because I'm an AHIMA member, right? I'm with the American Health Information Management Association. And I mean, you would think that I would only talk about them, but I give you guys all of the information for everybody. So that's why I include AAPC information, because these are the two major medical coding association powerhouses, okay? Now, AHIMA is steeped in history. They were the originals, and our founder was the start of a lot of these things, of a lot of coding, of the conventions and everything else. So that's why, okay? So there's a difference there. So if you're not going through AHIMA or AAPC, then you really need to consider what program you're with, okay? If you are with another program, it does not mean that you can't sit for one of these two credentials or two association credentials, because AHIMA does have the CCA, which is the entry-level credential. If you don't have any previous background in medical coding, you can still sit for their certification exam for the CCA. If you and you don't have to go through a formal program, okay? Same thing with AAPC. With AAPC, though, they do require you to get a membership through their association before you can pay to take one of their certification exams, which would be the CPC, or the Certified Professional Coder. And it will have a dash A at the end, which stands for apprentice. This just says that you have little to no experience as a medical coder, okay? So with that, okay, think about those two associations. Get involved with the associations themselves. Don't mess with the Facebook medical coding groups thinking that you're going to make connections that way, because it's negative. And it's a viper's nest. I'm telling you now, it's a viper's nest. I have yet to see one that is decent. I have yet. Okay? And I wouldn't say these things just to deter you guys. I'm trying to save you a couple of steps, okay? So, you know, you can believe me or you cannot believe me, but I'm just saying, you know, this is my experience and this is what I know, all right? What else? That you're going to have to study, but don't overstudy, okay? Overstudying meaning I don't want you guys to burn yourselves out. When you are in school, yes, you are going to have to study. Well, Blue, I'm spending too much time away from my kids. I don't want to spend too much time away from my kids. Guys, it's just temporary. It is literally just temporary. It's not forever, okay? It's maybe a few months, okay? You can really get through these programs in between like 9 to 12 months, okay? Sometimes you can get through in 6 months. It just depends. Now, if you're going through and you're just studying, schedule some time for yourself. That way you are on a schedule. This way everybody in your household can know that you're studying and that you're doing this and you're doing that, okay? If you miss a couple of days of studying, don't get on yourself, okay? That is just something that's going to happen. Make it up later. Don't cram, but still continue to look for ways to study. Use flashcards. I talk about flashcards all the time. Some people do not like flashcards, and I've gotten emails, Blue, why the flashcards? I don't want to do that. If you don't want to listen to my study tips, you don't have to, okay? You don't have to, but I'm just telling you now that if you want to be successful, these are some of the things that you may want to try, okay? I passed my certification test the first try. A lot of people don't pass their certifications sometimes the first try. I did. In my class, there was 35 of us in there. I was the only one who passed on the first try. So it's going to take a lot. It's a lot of studying, and it's a lot of reading, and it's a lot of really applying yourself, okay? So that's just something that you have to be aware of and understand that, yeah, you're not going to get a lot of things right away, but just keep studying. It is difficult. It is a difficult field, but once you start learning where to find your resources, it'll get easier, okay? And I recommend reading books cover to cover. If you have been issued books for evaluation and management, For procedure coding, for diagnosis coding, read it cover to cover. Now, am I talking about the books, the coding books like themselves, like where you get the codes out of? You can read the sections, like in the guidelines and things like that. You can read those. You obviously don't have to read all the pages with all the codes. But if you are being issued a book to like study like evaluation and management, I recommend reading that book cover to cover. I did it, and when I went through my program, I was the only one who passed the first try on getting through, because a lot of people had, when they were getting through the program, they got stuck at the evaluation and management. So because they got stuck, I was like, oh no, that's not happening to me. I will do anything and everything I have to in order to pass that portion. So what I did was I made sure that I sat down and I read the evaluation and management book cover to cover, and it was a thick book. It was like over 300 pages. But I did it because the thing is, this way I'm not skipping anything, and I'm really getting like a good practice into reading quickly, because when you go to take your certification exams, these exams are timed. AAPC is 5 hours and 40 minutes. The HIMA exam for the CCA is 2 hours. So these are times to keep in mind, because when you are studying, you're going to need to be able to get through these questions quickly. You have to gain confidence in yourself. A lot of times we sit there and second guess ourselves. And when we're second guessing ourselves, it does nothing but waste our time and diminish our confidence. So you have to know that whatever you choose the first time is probably right on the money. Choose it and keep going. Okay? And that is advice for even when you're sitting through your program, okay? That is advice for that, okay? That's that one. Also, if you're doing an online program, and I know everything right now with COVID and the pandemic, everything is online. It does get a little bit frustrating because it's disconnected, okay? Everything feels disconnected. When I was going through my program, it was all online, okay? I went to a trade school physically, but they literally sat me in front of a computer and said, learn. And there was really no instructor for us either. We had somebody who came in maybe once or twice a week, and he would do like a seminar and then maybe answer some questions, and that was it. And that was the extent of our teaching. Other than that, I really did teach myself how to do this. And, you know, I had the help of my mom. My mom helped me with flashcards, and she used to sit there and we would do drills together because she wanted to help me pass my exam. And thank God I passed my exam. But I owe it to my mom, you know, because she was right there with me, and she was right there coaching me the entire way and pushing me and telling me that I could do it. Because there's going to be times when you're going to sit there and you're going to question, do I really know anything? Do I know anything? What is this? You know, trust me, if you stick with it, it will reward you. But you have to stick with it, and don't think that you can't do it or that you can't make it. Yes, you can. There's a lot of people who have their credential that, you know, really had to believe in themselves because other people did not believe in them. If you have, and that's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to say this other part too. You may get into a situation where like people around you are not supportive. Okay, unfortunately, this does happen, and it could be for a myriad of reasons. Sometimes when people are destined for success, to be in a successful field, people may get jealous, you know, and it just depends on what's going on. But the ladies that I knew from my school, their parents would tell them, honey, you're not smart enough to do this. I don't know why you're doing it. And then you'd have, you know, boyfriends that would get mad at their girlfriends. Well, I don't want you working at some hospital with, you know, all these men and everything. Like, really, dude, come on, man. You know, and then so they would second guess themselves and wonder, were they doing the right thing? Were they going into the right field? The thing about it is, you need to believe in yourself. Your focus doesn't need to be other people's negativity or telling you that you can't do it because you're not smart or you're not worth it or whatever. You are worth it. You are totally worth it. And if you want to do something good with your life, you want to have a career, this is a career. This isn't a job. Medical coding is not a job. It's not a regular, you know, oh, Joe Schmo, you know, regular job. This is a career. It's life path. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to spend time doing this. You're going to spend time, energy, money, everything just doing this field. Okay. This is a career. This is not a, just something that, oh yeah, it's just a regular old job. It's a career. There's a difference between a job and a career. This is definitely a career. And I look back now at my journey, okay? And my journey was not an easy journey, okay? I just happen to be very studious, and that's what helps me, okay? It helps me because I can study, and I don't have a problem studying. But I did go through the times of, well, you know, am I in the right field? Am I doing the right thing? I went through it. Everybody goes through it. Everybody wonders, you know, everybody wonders if they should have done another field. I often, sometimes in the beginning, I wondered, should I have been an attorney because I wanted to go to law school? You know, should I have been an attorney? Should I have gone into real estate? You know, I had a supervisor who gave me a hard time when I got to the facility that I am now. I've been here for over 10 years. And my first supervisor was really great. My second supervisor wasn't so great. And it made me wonder, because I was so uncomfortable, because this supervisor made me so uncomfortable. I wondered, was I doing the right thing? Of course I'm doing the right thing. And that's what I would have to remind myself all the time. I am doing the right thing. I love what I do. And it showed to me in little ways. It was showed to me by, you know, providers who would reach out and say, I need your help. I need you to help me understand this. And then I say, okay, I know that I am in the right place. I know I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So it does happen to everybody where you sit there sometimes and you wonder. But just think about these things, you know, and don't be so quick to jump to conclusions that you can't do it, because yes, you can. Well, what if this other person says this and this other person says that? It doesn't matter. What do you want? What is it that you want? What's driving you? Do you want to have a good life for you and your family? Well, this is a really good field for that. It's steady. It pays very well. Don't ask me what it pays, because you can find out on the Department of Labor or the Bureau of Statistics, because every place starts their coders out at different rates. So that's one of my golden rules of my channel, is I don't talk about money, because a lot of people will want to get into this simply for the money. And I'm not about to promote that. There's other places and people that promote medical coding because of that. I'm not of that, okay? I am of, this is an intellectual field. This is why I love this. And we're talking about the other stuff. We're not talking about that other stuff. If you want to know about the money, if you want to know about the benefits, look at wherever you're going to apply. And that's how you can find out. Or again, go to the Department of Labor or the Bureau of Statistics. So that's how you can find out that information. But I hope that this has shed some light on some tips for you guys. It's going to take a lot of studying. Just accept it and know that you're going to have to be in it. You know, if something doesn't make sense, you know, try to find resources to help you to understand it. If not, you can ask the question here. If you are looking for extra exercises, I do extra exercises on my Patreon channel. There's lots of quizzes there. There's crossword puzzles that I do to help with medical terminology. And the lowest pledge is $1 per month, and you get access to all that. So I'll leave the link for my Patreon channel down in the description box below. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. But again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I do have Q&A Tuesday, every Tuesday, and I answer everybody's questions. So if you have something for next week, be sure to submit it. You can comment below. You can send me an email. You can check me out on Instagram at MEDICALCODINGWITHBLEU, all one word. All right, so I'm going to wrap this one up. But if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye.